Question number 1. Tell me about what made you want to become a musician. Well, I was always interested in music. I listened to it, got really into it. I would listen to it in bed every night. I'd listen to it on headphones. Never thought about playing it, although I did play violin for a couple of years. But I was over a friend's house. A guy lived across the street from me. He was into heavy metal before I was. And he put on a cassette one day, and between the intro and the explosion that happened as the song kicked in, I automatically thought to myself, like, this is what I want to do with my life. I decided that was the road I was going to take as far as, fulfilling my soul, quote unquote. Question number 2, for fans of, related if you like. Of course, you've had those tags. No, I haven't. But what bands do you think you are related if you like and for fans of? And what genre do you think you fit into? That's hard for me to answer because through my time of making music, I've tried to distance myself from what's happening in the world as far as music goes. I mean, I listen to stuff. But when it comes to creating, I try to not think about the end result or who I'm writing for, because essentially I'm writing for myself. The genre I've always done when I make my own music, as far as not working with Phil Swanson or other people, I've done a lot of solo stuff. I've dubbed it myself demented folk music. So I don't really know who I'm for. I mean, I would like to find people and have people find what I'm doing, but it doesn't really fit in, and that's why Vestal Claret has been the underdog of every project that Phil works with. It's always the one that doesn't get exposure, that has trouble getting published. So I think that's enough on that subject. Question number 3, which is better, being on the road or working in the studio? I'd say working in the studio. We've never played live. I am an audio engineer. I've played plenty of shows throughout my time, but again, back to question 2, is I play stuff that people don't get. Sometimes, I'll see somebody or talk to somebody 20 years later, and they'll be like, oh man, that stuff was really good. I didn't realize it, or I had to listen to something 17 times before I got it. So when you're a live band and you're playing stuff that people need to hear 17 times before they get it, you're not going to get anywhere. And people don't, I'm from Connecticut, and people don't support music here. You find other bands supporting other bands, but the people who are out there getting recognition and getting paid are playing covers, period. People need to work really hard to afford living around here. They don't have time to use their head to, open it up to something new. They just, want to be reminded of something they already know. I mean, that's my take on it. It's really negative, but I've lived in other states where people support music that is, new and fresh, or just strange, or not even that great. It's just there's something about it, but you have to dig in there. That's not for this area of the country. It's a Wonderful Life. So, question number 4. Every musician has a preference about their tools. Tell me about your number one instrument and what makes it special. This could be a very broad question, because a tool could be like a hammer or a special guitar, or it could be something that is much more abstract. That's a good question. I kind of hate it right now because I can't start in on it right away. My number one tool is I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. I make music for myself. If no one likes it, I don't give a shit. I really don't care. So that's what keeps me going. As I dive into something, you look at Our first record was littered with riffs that I wrote when I was like fucking 14 years old. I don't want to tell you how long ago that was, but our second record, so that was reminiscent of like late 80s metal. Our second record was like a tribute to Black Sabbath almost. And our third record, I've been way into this group called the Baltimore Consort forever. And they play period folk, like medieval, shit from the 18th century, like really old stuff all over the place. And I worked that into the new record. So there you go. What makes it special? I don't care. Nah, honestly, I do care, but I can't say I'm special, but whatever. Number 5, when it comes to home cold and tired and you want to warm your bones up beside the fire, what's the thing you put your hand just to make you comfortable? Movies. My favorite movie is Conan the Barbarian and Flash Gordon. I know they're not the same movie, but so that's where I find my comfort. So I love them. I love movies so much. I mean, they inspire me more than other music. It's not like I said that I try not to listen to stuff, other music. I mean, it happens, but most of the time I look for inspiration from movies and books, although I tend not to read enough. And I love Pink Floyd too, by the way, so good job with that one. All right, number 6. Sing the greatest riff of all time. Fuck. The greatest riff of all time. That's too tough. As long as you it's going to give me 20 minutes to come up with this riff. I mean, who wins? Who wins the greatest riff of all time? Bow down, 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 down. Bow down, 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 boom, boom. There you go. That is the greatest riff of all time. Prove me wrong, motherfucker. Sorry, I swore. If you have to bleep that out, you can. And that's the last of the questions. Thank you very much. Those are good ones. I like that. You should be proud of yourself.